After a showdown between business leaders across the area hoping to clean streets up to ease commerce and the city council, Measure O landed on the ballot. But the success of that initiative is dependent on action from Sacramento County. And just what the county will agree to do isn't finalized just yet. Amanda Blackwood, president and CEO of the Sac Metro Chamber of Commerce, one of the people in on those discussions with the county, with me now live. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Definitely. So Measure O would ban encampments and require the city of Sacramento to identify a minimum number of emergency shelter spaces and would tie the camping ordinance to the shelter space available. Our unhoused neighbors would be required to accept the offer of help or move. The latest point in time count tracking the number of homeless folks in the county puts that number at more than 9,000, with the lion's share within the city limits. These folks would need services like mental health and substance abuse help. What's been nailed down so far in discussions with the county?
Well, again, thank you for that intro. And so many are wondering, will this go into effect if the city and county can't come to an agreement on a partnership, which historically has been challenging. But I have good news for everyone. As a person in that room, we sat there as partners, the 4x2x2 city, county, staff, electeds, us as the ballot proponents last 2 Mondays ago on the 17th, and came to a framework that is going to provide services, support, mental health, outreach, all the things that we know are really what it's going to take to move people into emergency shelter, but ultimately into happy, healthy lives. I don't think it's going to be public by election day. I think it is going to be public about a week and a half or 2 weeks later. Always better to be right than fast. But voters should know that your partners at the city and the county came together in a whole new way, And we've got more done in the last 6 months than the last 6 years because of that commitment to this community. So I'm optimistic, and I think voters can feel confident in that.
I know you can't give specifics right now, but can you give sort of an overview of what you think is left to be decided? And when does this plan get officially finalized and put out before the public? You think a week after Election Day?
Yeah, so I think, we need to always frame it in that homelessness is also a housing crisis. So, what still needs to be solved? Obviously, we have to deal with housing, affordable housing, permanent housing, housing of all kinds. But what this is going to do immediately is begin relief on those heavy encampments, begin to relocate people into services, find family, into shelter, and continue to do that in a really transparent way that is clear, to our unhoused community so they know what to expect, is clear for neighborhoods so we can really start to feel, that safety and reclaiming that public space and really put everybody on a track to be sheltered, be supported. It'll take time. We have a lot of folks, as you said, 9,000 people, but this is the first critical step to really triage where we're at now, but ultimately move into supportive housing.
Some people think this move is really disingenuous because all the details weren't finalized before ballots went out, so people don't actually know what they're voting on. What would you say to them?
Well, I'd say this, if you are for a community that puts humans, beings first, if you are for safety, if you are for families, you can feel confident voting yes in Measure O. And if this agreement doesn't happen, well, then it won't go into effect. No harm, no foul. But if it does, we're going to feel the first major effort in this community to tackle this crisis that we have ever felt. And this is going to be a poster child for the nation on how communities can come together and make real change.
Critics of Measure O, of which there's a long list, mostly made up of the advocates who actually work with our unhoused neighbors every day, folks who know this population. They say this plan brings no new funding, no truly new housing, no new mental health or substance abuse services, and that it opens Sacramento up to undue liability because if someone perceives that this plan is not working in a given spot, they can sue the city. What do you have to say about that?
I can absolutely understand where our advocate community is coming from. And being in the streets, talking with people every day is an exceptionally important perspective that everybody needs to take into account. I wish we had more money too. I would love to find that. But what was critical about this and what's critical about Measure O is that it requires the city to step up and actually create that shelter capacity. And it requires the county to provide services. I think we've all seen in the media lately some attention on the comprehensive siting plan and as much incredible work that went into finding those sites and getting them operational. They're not operational. So what Measure O does is it ensures that there is mandatory shelter in our community. I hear our advocates, and absolutely, we want full services at all of those shelter sites, absolutely, and we were going to keep fighting for that. But Measure O will mandate that the city actually move forward with building those shelters, move past the NIMBY issues, move past the finger pointing, and we can start to see people be triaged and no longer, floundering in an encampment that doesn't have any kind of support at all.
Alrighty, this is of course an interesting vote debate that we will be following here. A lot of people see this about being as profit and not people, because this has been, really led by the business community who wants to free up commerce and get rid of some of the encampments that are blocking businesses. So we'll have to see, once all the details come down, how people end up voting and accepting this. We hope there is some kind of agreement and something actually does change out there. Thank you so much for the update.
Of course, appreciate it.